greens got bigger. Because when Mike and I started playing golf, the greens were very small. And there wasn't a lot of undulation in them. They were fairly flat, and there wasn't a lot of creativity. And for slope, what you just basically had to do was find out where a low point on the golf course was. The sophistication of draining back then was basically just they sloped the greens to the low point on the golf course. So if you knew where the low point was, you knew everything was breaking towards. So it made the greens pretty easy to read and pretty easy to do all your short game and putting and chipping and stuff. As the greens got bigger, we've had chips from one side of the green to the other. And we're using the pitching wedge or sand wedge. Now you've got to put a little more energy into it. You're putting more backspin on the ball. And the ball didn't react the same way all the time. Sometimes it would hit and have a lot of spin on it, not roll out very much, and then sometimes it would come out of the grass without any spin and not roll too far. And then the condition of the greens back then was nothing like it is today. It was very inconsistent. Half the green would be very soft, the other half would be harder to rock. So you had to figure out where you wanted the ball to land to see what was going to happen to it. And it was crazy. But now with everything being as consistent it is from one green to the next, it's made chipping a little bit easier to be able to control. But one of the things is when we have these long chips, trying to control distance becomes an issue, right? And one of the things that everybody, Jerry came up with, and a few other folks I think probably at that time came up with, was that when you're on the golf course and you're 100 yards away, what club do you use?
For me, it's the drop wedge.
Okay. 150 yards away, what club do you use?
7-iron.
Okay. 200 yards away, what club do you use?
Hybrid.
Okay. So what you're saying is you're going to use the same swing and just change clubs for different distances, right? You have 9 different distances out here. If you're going to use one club, you're going to need 9 different swings. You got 14 bloody clubs in your bag. So why not use the same swing, or as close to the same swing as we can, and change the clubs for the different distances, just like you do on the golf course. That's kind of how this all came about. Okay? And it was just a matter of figuring out how far each one of the clubs go, and there you go. Rather than trying to figure out how much swing you need. Now, a lot of the old timers, like Mike and I played in this game for as many years as we have, we learned how to play all the shots with either a pitching wedge or a
Sand wedge, right?
Became very proficient at it, and I can still do it today, okay? Because that's the way I grew up playing short game. Thank you. And so it's not a stretch for either one of us to do that. Okay? It's more challenging, there's no question about it, but it still can be done. But we want to try to make it simpler, a little more consistent with these chips around the edge of the greens by taking a little bit less loft and getting the swing more under control. All right? Now, as you're going through short game stuff, right, there's a lot of systems out there. There's a lot of formulas and stuff that they tell you this is the way you've got to do it. All right? Take all of them and kind of throw them away. Because here's what happens. Okay? There's only 3 things that impact distance control. The length and loft of the club, the length of the swing, and the amount of force applied to the swing. That's it. Okay? And this is assuming you're hitting everything solid. Okay? Now, the one issue nobody talks about is the application of force. Because they're all afraid to. Because they can't control it. I can't control it. Okay? There's an instructor out there to control your force and how you apply that force from a certain length swing, because everybody does it different. So telling you that you want to land the ball 1/3 of the distance and roll 2/3, okay? Roll the dice, see what comes out of it, okay? Or that there's a ratio between clubs. You're going to hear a pitching wedge, whatever distance it's in the air, it's going to roll the same amount, okay? So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. 8-iron's going to roll twice as far as the pitching wedge is going to. Okay? Same distance in the air, twice as far forward. And 6-iron's going to be 4-to-1, okay? The person who designed the system and formula, it may be perfect for them with those numbers.
Yeah.
But he can't apply force like you do. I can get all these gentlemen here and I'll put us all together, give you all the same club, tell you this is as far back and as far forward as you can go. Now I'm going to probably get as many different distances as I am people standing here on the green. Because of the fact everybody applies force differently. It's the one thing none of us have control over. That's why nobody talks about it. Okay? Because they can't say this is the way it's got to be. If everybody applied force the same way, it'd be a different story. But everybody doesn't. They have a different pace at which they work at, different strengths, and so they're going to hit the ball with a different authority than one to the next. Doesn't make any difference. It's how you all are wired and how you work. So what you do is you adapt that to what we're about to do here this morning. And if it's more club or less club, well, you got them all in the bag. Use the club. But try not to get caught into a trap where you have to do it this way. Okay? Because when you do that, more than likely, it's not going to work for you. Okay? Because you're going to, again, approach it differently by just the way your body reacts and your body does things. Okay? All right. Let me just, you can turn that off for a second.
Sure.